Today on Another Thing, is Chris Christie running for president and can he win? Our experts weigh in. Dawn takes us to the world premiere of a one-of-a-kind guerrilla adventure in our area. And in my commentary, how New York and Philadelphia media ignores New Jersey except when it's bad news. I'm Larry Menti. Welcome to Another Thing. Several candidates have already announced that they are running for president, including Hillary Clinton, Ted Cruz, and Marco Rubio. Many more are expected to join what is sure to be a crowded field for 2016. But in our area, all eyes are on New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. Is he running? And if he does, can he win? With a scandal haunting his administration. Ellen Kolodziej kicks off the Christie Watch for Another Thing. Ellen.
So far, 6 Republicans have announced that they want to become the next president of the United States. Governor Chris Christie has not formally announced his candidacy, but most people expect that to happen between Memorial Day and the 4th of July. But one local political analyst says the governor's chances of actually getting the Republican nomination are slim to none.
He's had so much bad publicity lately, especially because of the scandal in Fort Lee, New Jersey with Bridgegate. And even if he's not involved or was not involved in any way, shape, or form, it's his staff and he's a reflection of those who have worked for him. So right now I think he's in a very difficult position and something would have to change pretty dramatically for him to have a better chance.
Jeff Jubileer is a political consultant and communications expert who's worked with many Republicans over the years, including Senator Rick Santorum. He doesn't see any way Governor Christie wins over the GOP faithful unless there's a major crisis that truly sets him apart.
I think all of our mothers taught us, if we could avoid it, don't be stupid. So don't be stupid. Get out and go to higher, safer ground.
God forbid we have something this summer, like another Hurricane Sandy, and he handles it in a way that shows strong leadership, bipartisanship in terms of getting dollars to the state of New Jersey. And you'd hate to see a crisis happen, of course, but that's when leaders rise to the top. And otherwise, I don't know how he breaks through. Where's the opening for Chris Christie?
Now, Politico is reporting that several of Christie's top supporters have already jumped ship, and they're now throwing their support behind Jeb Bush. And that could be just another hurdle in what looks like it could be a very uphill battle for the governor of New Jersey. Reporting for Another Thing, I'm Ellen Kolodziej.
All right, thank you, Ellen. To talk more about Governor Christie and his chances at getting the Republican nomination for president is Ben Dworkin, who is the director of the Rebovich Institute for New Jersey Politics at Rider University, and also Matt Rooney, who is a blogger for SaveJersey.com. Thank you both for being here. Let me start with you. Is he going to run?
Absolutely. I think he's too far down the line to even pull back at this point.
Matt, agree?
He's committed, and they think that they have a real chance. He's in.
So we all agree that he's going to run.
Yes.
You got it.
Should he run? I mean, I guess
that's a quite esoteric question.
Yes, I understand that, and I'm not saying should he run for the good of the country. I'm saying should he run because it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of resources. You still have to be governor of a state. There are many factors that go into running, and I'm sure he's taken them all into consideration, which leads to the question: should he be running? Does he have a chance of winning?
Yes, I would say that he still has a chance of winning, and for a couple reasons. First of all, we're 10 months away from New Hampshire voting. A week is a lifetime in politics. There are a lot of weeks to go. So even if this week, with some of the Bridgegate stuff, might not be the best week for the governor, next week, the following week, he has a chance to reconnect with these voters. And that's really the second reason why he has a chance of winning. Because Governor Christie has tremendous political skills. And like him or not like him, he's really good in a living room in New Hampshire, in the back of a barn doing a town hall in Iowa. And I think once these Republican primary voters get a chance to meet him and he has a chance to do his thing where he is most comfortable, I think 6 months from now, after that has been done, he'll have a different kind of standing in the polls and it'll be much higher.
Well, truthfully, he's already running now. He's gotten some good press for some of the meetings that you're talking about in New Hampshire. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, right now he's wrapping up a 2-day swing through the state in New Hampshire. He's going into diners. He's meeting with folks one-on-one. And we're talking about Chris Christie, the most uniquely talented retail politician probably since Bill Clinton. So, look, how far can he go? in this presidential primary with his base problems, if he can't do well in New Hampshire, he's done. But you cannot count him out there. And that's where many politicians, Bill Clinton, John McCain, have all made their comeback.
And let's stay with that for a second, because as you look at the game board going towards the nomination, I don't see the path for him except if he can make some noise in New Hampshire. Is that the way you see it?
Absolutely. New Hampshire is clearly ground zero for the major momentum that he'll need. The benefit of the Iowa and New Hampshire front-loading of these primaries are that they allow a politician to go retail. Once things start steamrolling, you have 7 states at a time. You can't do that. You can't be meeting 12 people in a living room. Then you have to be on TV. And so he has the ability to use his best political talents in this small setting, and that is the place where it's going to happen. Because we should just remember, Iowa, which voted for Santorum in 2012, which voted for Huckabee in 2008, these are the social conservatives. They tend to dominate the caucuses in Iowa on the Republican side. Christie might not come in for a second or third there.
But it seems like it's a better indicator for the Democrats than it is for the Republicans. So let's say he makes a huge splash in New Hampshire. Let's say he wins New Hampshire out of nowhere. Then he's got to go to South Carolina. Then he has to go to Florida. Is he going to play even with that new publicity in those states? Can he win those states?
Probably not if he still has Jeb Bush and Scott Walker and other governors in his path who have a very similar biography. He needs a path that's unobstructed at this point. If you are a Republican primary voter and you're concerned about Bridgegate, you have somebody who has a cleaner track record in Jeb Bush. If you're concerned about somebody who has a record of successful conservative governance, you have that in Scott Walker. So if Chris Christie finishes strong enough in New Hampshire and can get one of those guys to step out of the way, all of a sudden there's enough room on the road. Otherwise, he's going to find that it's really backed up and crowded heading down I-95, and he's not going to be able to do well in those southern states.
You guys are great. You keep bringing up the next topic. Bridgegate. How big of a problem is Bridgegate as he moves forward?
I think we'll have to see. And I'm sorry to sort of be equivocal about that, but this is the point. Right now, David Wildstein, who pled guilty this week to crimes involving the Bridge story, he is the only one who has set out a narrative of what happened and why. The fact that Bill Baroni and Bridget Kelly insist that they are innocent means that they are going to have some alternative narrative. And that alternative may well involve people higher up the food chain, closer to Chris Christie. If that happens, if this trial that begins in July starts bringing in people who higher up in the Christie administration, it can have a negative impact.
So if they turn on him, he's in trouble. It's basically what you're saying. If they point the finger at him, then
and they've got to
provide.
They keep saying they're innocent. They got to provide a different storyline.
But it'll stay in the headlines. I mean, you're going to keep hearing about this, even if he wasn't involved. You're going to keep hearing about it, and his name's always going to be attached. Is it a problem?
Sure. The term we always use in politics is optics, right? So in the fall, there's going to be Republican presidential debates. The last thing he wants when he's trying to eviscerate Jeb Bush on the stage is to have MSNBC and CNN showing pictures of people doing the perp walk or going in and out of courtrooms holding big boxes full of folders. Anything that reinforces that New Jersey stereotype is bad for him. He cannot win in South Carolina if people think he's Tony Soprano Part 2. It just doesn't work. It plays well up here because we like a tough guy who's a straight talker. Down there, they're looking for something a little bit different. Those optics are bad for him.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just the real legacy of Bridgegate is that a governor who won in a blue state with 60% of the vote, an overwhelming victory, lost all of his momentum for the second term. And even when people are talking about Christie's proposal to raise the retirement age and some of these interesting things about his vision for America, they keep having to put another 3 paragraphs or another 5 minutes in a news story about the Bridgegate, and that just takes away the momentum.
I've heard several times that he missed his window. You keep hearing that over and over again, that he should have ran last time, that he missed his window this time. Very quickly, we're wrapping up right now. Do you think he could be the nominee? Do you think he will be the nominee? What are the chances of that now?
It's hard to say. I think he still has a solid chance.
Come on, give me a percentage. Just throw one out. We won't hold you to it.
What do you think? Are there 8 people running? So he's got 1/8 of a chance.
That's fair. What do you think?
Let's say this. If I was putting this bet in an Atlantic City casino, I'd probably take my drink and keep walking. You know?
You're not betting on any of them?
I'm not going to bet on him. I think that it's too crowded. He's lost his opportunity. He's not only needs to do really well right now, but he also needs other folks to make a mistake. You never want to bet on that.
Okay, great. You're both great. Thank you so much for being here. Ben Dworkin, who is with the director of the Rebovich Institute for New Jersey Politics at Rider University, and also Matt Rooney, who is a blogger. You can read his stuff at SaveJersey.com. We're going to continue with this topic and talk to the legendary Bob Engel when we come right back.